you, and start preparing for that now. Put the infrastructure in place, right? Have that foundation, because it's a lot harder, to fix when you've got 50, 100 employees and you have to do a drastic change because you've just found out, like, you're out in left field holding the hockey stick waiting for kickoff. You're that far misaligned with the market, right? I can get my pharmacy from somewhere else. We're doing international sourcing for some medications, and you can save 70% on that. The goal here is to not ration healthcare. The goal is to optimize healthcare, because the employees that just keep getting more out of their paycheck and less from their benefit programs, those folks are going to be dissatisfied. And if they have options, they're probably going to start to exploit. I think those are the two big things out of the gate. What should I be offering, and what should I be contributing to that?
Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of the Construction MF'ers podcast. I am Scott Pieper, founder and CEO of Mobilization Funding, and today we're going to talk about the government contracting space, specifically how you can maximize your healthcare benefits, how you can provide best benefits, best-in-class benefits to your employees, but more importantly, if you're a business owner, how you can manage those costs. What are some tips when you're only 20 employees or less? As you migrate to 50, as you migrate to 100, where are the savings? How can you take those savings, put these initiatives in place, and actually win more contracts? And I got a perfect expert here today. Mike DeVoe is the founder and president of Keystone Benefits Group, and today he's going to share his knowledge with us. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey, Scott, great to be here. Looking forward to it. Obviously, you and I have connected in the past. Looking forward to providing some value to your folks. Give some good information on what we're seeing in the marketplace in healthcare spend specifically. And I think a lot of folks think that healthcare isn't evolving, right? It's just kind of stagnant, but the reality is it's moving fast. It's moving even faster as AI comes online. So we're looking forward to sharing some information on ways that companies can kind of help themselves, get in control of this, maybe get ahead of it, and really help their businesses grow.
Yeah, Mike, you're the perfect person for it, man. I'm looking forward. Let's just jump right into it. Now, Mike, let me ask you this question. Okay, so I got my business regardless of the size. Why don't I just pay them more? The easy button is I just pay my employees more. Why would I want to? I'm going to have to pay them more anyway. Why not just pay them more if I'm investing there in actual compensation? Why would I want to invest even more dollars in the benefits? Or if I only have so much to invest, should I invest them in comp or should I invest them in benefits?
I'm going to give the famous quote we used to do when I was flying airplanes with the Navy. It depends, right? It depends on where you are, right? Are you aligned with the current market? Are you ahead or behind in benefits? Where are you on comp? And I know this is kind of a non-answer, but I think it really depends on, hey, what is your strategic vision? What are you also getting in feedback from new hires that are coming on board, feedback about your benefits? What are people saying in exit interviews, right? If benefits are the things that come up in exit interviews, and we just talked to a growing government contractor just yesterday, and she was saying benefits come up in every single exit interview that we have. That means you probably need to, and I understand budgets because I run a business, you run a business. Listen, I mean, it's a balloon, right? You just decide, you squeeze it in one spot, it's going to expand in another spot. You just don't have money. You have to decide, where is this money going to, have the most impact?
Yeah.
And so I think it basically depends on what feedback are you getting from your employees. If they're not coming because of comp, then you probably need to put the money on comp. If they're not coming because of the medical, or it costs too much, or they can't take care of their family, then I think you need to put it on benefits there. But, to me, that's where benchmarking and understanding where you sit within the marketplace is just key business intelligence that too many companies maybe haven't spent enough effort on.
I love it. All right. So Mike, tell me Keystone Benefits Group. Why did you start it? What were you how did you become passionate about this? And ultimately kind of tell me, what do you guys do?
So I will tell you, I was a Navy pilot, got out, went to a major airline, thought I had basically, could throw my resume away, was done. I was going to fly airplanes commercially for a living. 9/11 taught me, obviously, never say never. And also, taught me that how unions work really quick when you're the low man on the totem pole. Um, honestly fell into insurance. I was out looking for something to do while I waited for the airlines to call me back, and actually found something I was really passionate about, which was really helping companies control, one of their biggest budget items. In the government services space where we primarily work, it's the number two budget item on their P&L, right behind payroll. So it's a complex problem. It's a difficult problem, but it's a product and a service that your employees use every single day of the year, right? It's 24/7, 365, and I like helping companies solve this problem so that they can, one, win more business, retain more business, and keep happy employees. So, our approach is really, very service driven, right? We understand that most government contractors, to keep their overhead low, right, their indirect labor, they basically a lot of times have their HR departments an army of one. Our goal is to really kind of wrap around them and really take care of their employees so they can say, you know what, I know I got 10 different hats. I can take the benefit hat off because Keystone has it, from the leadership side, the financial side, knowing that, hey, they've got a trusted partner in there that's really, looking at how every dollar is spent so that we're optimizing how those dollars go out from the company, and that they're meaningful impact on them, right? We got to get the waste out of the healthcare system. I mean, it applies to every company out there, but when government contractors, and sometimes you're bidding on these things with razor thin margins, right? You might lose by, a 0.5%, a point there. Benefits can really impact that.
Yeah, no,
So
I
that's our
can
passion
definitely see.
right there.
I love that. What is the one or two things that your typical clients ask you about or look to you as a resource for that's unrelated to insurance or the
Unrelated.
products, services you provide? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one big thing we've really kind of we're big into the data analytics thing that we're really, I'm really pushing predictive analytics on our groups of really diving in and giving them the business intelligence they just aren't getting. In fact, we're kind of dealing in a space where probably less than, certainly less than 10, maybe less than 5% are really into the controlling the data and looking at where are the ways that we can basically, squeeze out, some healthcare spend. So it's really focused on that and looking for the unique solutions, right? To me, healthcare can either be a bullet wound with one really, really large claim, like a premium, a cancer, heart attacks, end stage renal, those types of things, or it can be death by 1,000 paper cuts, right?
Yeah.
Your employees using the ER when they should be using primary care, people being on brand name drugs when they could be on generics. So, I think the one thing is just looking for that, hey, what can we do that's unique, right? How do I help my employees have a better healthcare experience, have a better health outcome, but also be mindful as a company and be competitive so we can grow, right? If a company's not growing, guess what? If you're not growing, what do they say? You're not growing, you're
You're
dying.
dying.
And we see it a lot too. If you're not out there winning on new business, business is hard whether you're growing, you're staying where you are, or you're shrinking. You might as well be growing. If you're going to do hard, you might as well do it while you're growing.
I love that. And by the way, that is really true too. It's hard no matter what. So you might as well be growing while it's hard.
Yeah, yeah. If you're going to work hard, you might as well work hard for more money. So,
Oh gosh, I love it. Well, man, I want to ask you two quick questions. I kind of call them my lightning round questions.
all
And
right.
the first one, I just want you to, the first question I asked, just off the top of your head, just whatever the answer is, just go through it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best business book that you've ever read or you like to recommend?
Oh man, I'm a huge Alex Hermosi fan. I just think his business stuff is just great. It's you got to do the reps, you got to put in the work, you got to outwork people. So it's probably $100 million offers. I mean, I listen to a lot of his podcasts there. So and I think he's just common sense and he's made it simple for folks.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love him a lot. I was introduced to him through a gentleman I've listened to a lot. I got a gentleman named Andy Frisilla, had him on his
Yep.
podcast, and he was great. And I was like, man, this guy is a 10. And I was listening to him, but he gives great advice. He's got a great newsletter too, with good, solid, actionable advice that comes. The Mosey Minute or
Yep,
Cash with
Mosey
Mo.
Minute. I went out to a scaling workshop
Did you really? Out to
Yeah, I
Vegas?
went out there and it was freaking fantastic. You walk out there and you think you're like, hey, I run a business, it's successful, and this. You go out there and you're like, man, maybe I need to be doing more. So it's a
That's
little
awesome.
humbling getting out there. Yeah,
And it was good, really
yeah,
valuable.
extremely
How
valuable. Yeah,
long was it?
2 days. It was 2.5 days out there,
That's
and
awesome. How many people were there? Was it like a big group or just were you able to
yeah,
get
there
like,
were a couple. There were probably at least 100 in the room.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, and you get all the people that he's brought in, all the marketing people, all the client success people, all the all of the folks that are running acquisition.com are there. So it was a really good couple of days, that's for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. And you were able to take away some good stuff and bring it
Yeah,
back and implement.
I got a whole bunch of notes. Some of them I've actually executed on.
I
So,
love it. I love it. And then what's the best advice you've ever received? Business advice.
oh man, I think it's just you got to work hard. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Running a business is hard and it takes work, and you've got to be willing to sacrifice. And so I think that's the advice of, you got to put in the hours, you got to put in the reps, and you got to do the work.
I
And
know.
not willing to do the work. Listen, there are 80% of the people out there, they need to go work for somebody else. You know, the 20% that want to run a business, know you got to put in the reps. And business isn't easy. And I don't care what business you're doing. I've never, I read the 4 Hour Work Week book, and nobody I know that's running a business and successful works 4 hours a week.
Yeah, unless they're retired.
Yeah. So,
They didn't start that way though. They didn't
no,
grow it doing it 4 hours a week, I don't think. But
no.
who knows?
Yeah, 4 hours before 9 a.m. is, more like it. So,
Yeah,
I
no,
think I have
that's
more email exchanges with C-suite folks, before 7 a.m. because that's just when they're trying to get, that's when they're getting stuff done, and they got a little bit of quiet time.
yeah, because you're not going to get to your email throughout the day. It's just not, oh, you're just prison to it. Yeah.
No, I need to get better at just shutting it off and just focusing. But yeah, I think I probably, I'm looking at right now, I think I've had 30 emails in since we've been chatting. So
That's good. I love it.
I need to shut it off, but it was up there. So
Well, Mike, I appreciate you coming on, man. You shared a wealth of knowledge here, and I'm sure folks are going to find value in it and understand. I'll put obviously, all of your information is right here in the show notes. But where is some places that you are online or through social? If someone wants to follow you, get in touch with you, what's the best way to go about doing that?
yeah, we're on LinkedIn is probably the place that we're the most there. We got a Keystone LinkedIn profile. I've got a personal profile on LinkedIn. That's probably the best place to find me. I'm not as social as I should be on Facebook or Meta or whatever they're calling it these days. But yeah, LinkedIn's probably the best place. And then obviously, if anybody wants to get a hold of us, we're happy to kind of take a look under the hood, give you a kind of a free opinion of what you're doing. Hey, how does that compare to the market? Give you some ideas and a roadmap for
I
success.
love it. I love it. Well, Mike, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge. And I'm certain there's some folks here today that have heard that are going to hear this and they're going to find it valuable. And maybe hopefully help them skip a step, maybe a couple of years. Maybe they keep an employee, maybe they gain a new contract. But I thank you very much. And I'm very grateful for you coming
Yeah,
on,
no,
man.
I'll leave you with this. What does Hormozy say? It's ignorance debt. We all got to pay it at some point here. Hopefully, we don't have to learn the hard way, right? We can get
Yeah,
with people that are going to help us, skip some of the bumps and bruises we're going to get down the road. So, hey,
that's
Scott, it's
right.
been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it, and look forward to staying in touch.
I appreciate you, man. Well, everybody, thank you for watching the episode. Please give Mike and I both a follow on LinkedIn if you're not connected with us already. You can find Mobilization Funding on our YouTube channel at Mobilization Funding, and you can also find us at mobilizationfunding.com. Lots of great tools, great episodes, anything that can help educate. In the meantime, I wish you all a great week, and God bless you.